The other day I was listening to this playlist of new wave music from the 80s. I don't listen to that often, but it brought back a lot of memories to when I was growing up in the 80s. And that was the stuff on the radio. They had bands like The Cure, Depeche Mode, Tears for Fears, and many others. It was just a very fun listening experience and was a good way to let off some steam.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
What does that have to do with this video? It's because the band I'm reviewing today seems to inject some of that sound into their progressive metal sound, and I thought it was very interesting. I'm talking about the band Voyager. I guess you can call them Electro Prog metal. This is their 8th studio album called Fearless in Love, released on July 14th throughout Seasons of Mist. Like I was saying, the band mixes synth pop with modern progressive metal. The vocals are melodic and the lyrics are emotional. They're even able to play some heavy guitar riffs. This was also my first time listening to this band, so I'm doing this review as a newcomer. Let me give you some background on the band. Voyager is a progressive metal band from Perth, Western Australia. They formed in 1999. They released 8 full-length albums. They represented Australia in the Eurovision Song Contest 2023 with the song Promise, finishing in 9th place. And let me read a few quotes from some of the reviews I found online. Voyager demonstrates a commitment to songs, not just to instrumental technicality or thematic grandeur, and they do so with enjoyable, catchy melodies. I suspect that Fearless in Love will satisfy fans from the band's last 10 years as much as it will newcomers. That is from Angry Metal Guy. Whether you're a new convert to Voyager or a long-time listener, Fearless in Love has something for you. That's from Distorted Sound. In Fearless in Love, Voyager have opened up their sound, expanding their soundscape from what they did on Colors in the Sun, creating something a little bit more unique, a potluck of different genres combined with their trademark progressive metal sound, a recipe for success. And that was Tuonela magazine. Let's delve into the songs featured on the album. Best Intentions kicks off with captivating 80s new wave electronic sounds, but fear not, the heavy guitars make their entrance later on. Personally, I'm drawn to the guitar sound, which carries hints of Dream Theater influence and brings to mind the band Evergrey. Some of the guitar riffs create a slow and atmospheric ambience. The vocals are impressive, and the song manages to be both complex and catchy simultaneously. Prince of Fire initially introduces synth pop elements before transitioning into heavy metalcore guitar riffs, accompanied by subtle keyboards. The vocals alternate between melodic verses and heavy guitar sections. The track boasts a rich and layered sound with backing vocals and use a generous use of electronic elements. Towards the end, they surprise the listener with some harsh vocals during the heavy riffs, only to swiftly return to the melodic vocals. Ultraviolet features Sam Hermanis of Make Them Suffer. This may appear as a modern pop due to its crisp production, but it soon unveils intriguing guitar riffs, initially presenting an 80s synth pop and new wave vibe. The song later incorporates heavier guitars. Some riffs are undeniably heavy, reminiscent of the metalcore genre, but they skillfully blend it with prog metal elements and melodic vocals. The inclusion of harsh vocals towards the end adds a refreshing twist, seamlessly integrated into the song. Dreamer resembles Depeche Mode initially, yet it swiftly asserts its own unique style. This track stands out as the most danceable on the album, even with the heavy guitar tones that are somewhat subdued in this particular song. 'Cause I am going in. The Lamenting follows suit with an electronic new wave sound. The guitar riffs, played with low distortion, contribute more to the atmospheric backdrop. The dominant synth pop sound makes this track particularly catchy. It boasts a dense and layered sound where numerous elements intertwine. As a reminder of the heavier side, a rather intense breakdown occurs towards the end. Submarine exhibits a heavier introduction compared to some preceding tracks. The groovy guitar riffs and vocals reminiscent of 80s new wave take center stage. The song incorporates both heavy synth sounds and the guitar riffs, resulting in a catchy tune that will likely stay with you.
Never ever done anything like this before.
Promise exudes a modern pop vibe, possibly resembling the band's Sleep Token, but with an 80s touch and a thick, heavy guitars. The song starts softly before briefly embracing a touch of deathcore, eventually transitioning back to Dream Theater-esque territory. Twisted opens with a Depeche Mode-like sound, yet like most of the other tracks, it interweaves heavy guitar elements. The song showcases intricate sections while also embracing melody.
I would daydream.
Daydream emanates as a dreamy atmosphere with gentle keyboards and melodic vocals. This particular track exudes a more cheerful sentiment. The guitars possess a cleaner tone, and while it leans towards modern pop, there are traces of synth pop influence. It doesn't weigh heavily, but includes an electric guitar solo. Listen takes the penultimate spot on the album. The song carries a pop sound with moderately heavy guitars. The guitar tones could be likened to 80s glam or traditional metal. Highly melodic in the middle section stands out with its dense bass guitar sound and glam metal style riffs. This track showcases a different approach, relying less on the heaviness. Grand, Fearless in Love concludes the album with its dreamy atmosphere, soft melodies, and occasional heavy elements intertwined with delicate keyboards. The sound feels grand and expansive, serving as a fitting closure for the album. To sum up, my overall impression of the album is that it's decent. I'm aware that this band has a substantial fan base and received favorable reviews for this album, but personally I found it just enjoyable to listen to. I appreciated the fusion of new wave influence with modern metal sounds, as it renders the band's style unique. Perhaps if I spent more time with it, my rating may increase, but for now, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's not too shabby. Please share your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this video, a thumbs up will be greatly appreciated, as it aids with the algorithm. Check out this video right here. I haven't reviewed any other Voyager albums, but see what I put there. And thanks for watching.